our trainers, plus our members who have just joined us. We are glad that we've made it to this training. And I believe without a shadow of doubt that we are going to learn from our trainers. As you can see, our topic for today for our training will be about success. Each one of everyone in this one, ask them what they want in this life. We just hear everyone saying that I want to be successful, I want to be successful. Ask the young people, what do you want for your life? What's your dream for your life? I just want to be successful. So in this platform, understand what is this success? Yeah? This success that we keep saying that we need to be successful. What is it about? How do we get success and how do we maintain it? Yeah. So, but at the end of the day, of our lives, like we will be successful. So we are here to get knowledgeable, to get enlightened, and be equipped with the right knowledge, with the right skills for us to be successful. So I want to welcome all of this training. It is organized by PMAK. PMAK includes peer mentors of Kenya, an NGO that is where our vision basically is to raise a self-disciplined generation that is self-driven and is successful. So it is part of our vision to raise a young generation which is successful, and that's why we want to equip us as members with the right knowledge of now getting to understand what this success is all about. So I want to welcome each and every one of us in this platform. Feel at home. If you have any questions, just jot them down. We will have a segment where we'll be able to ask questions about success, any question that is in that area of success. Whatever question that we'll have that time. Yeah, and before we go on, allow me to pray. Let us believe and pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, we want to bless you for the gift of another beautiful day, oh God, and the gift of life. The Lord, you've granted us this day, oh God Almighty. Thank you, Father, for this training. We have been planning it for the last weeks, oh God Almighty, and we have seen the Lord. We have been able, then Father, to start it, oh God Almighty. We pray, Father, as we begin this training, may you be with us. We pray for your knowledge, we pray for your wisdom, we pray for the guidance of your Holy Spirit, King of Kings, oh God. I'm praying for all our trainers, King of Kings. The Lord, you may guide them. The Lord, you may equip them with the right knowledge and the right with the wisdom the Lord they need in the name of Jesus Christ to be able, Father, to speak to us concerning the topic of the day in the name of Jesus Christ. I'm praying for all the members of God. Father, as we acquire this knowledge, oh God, give us the grace to be able to put it into practice, oh God. Lord, it may be beneficial for our lives, Father, even for the people who are outside the King of Glory. Bless you for what you are doing in our lives, Father, and we honor you. As we begin, Father, may you begin in us, and as we end, all the glory and honor shall be returned unto you. In Jesus' mighty name, we do pray, believe, and trust you. Amen. 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 Yeah, so without wasting any more time, would like to first introduce our trainers for the day. And I will start with our first speaker, who is our ambassador, Madam Wendy Mutengi, who is a lawyer by profession and also an educationist by practice. I'm also an educationist, so I'm glad to have you, Madam, here. She's also an author of books, for example, Eros, Sexuality and Relationships, and also a founding director, the Green Ambassadors and Talents Academy, and a kingdom child. So guys, you can see we have the right people in this platform to speak to us. They have attained a level of success, and we are the right hands. I believe they will guide us in the right channel of being successful. So the second speaker will be Madam Aret Jeru, who is our National Director, PMAK, and also a certified corporate trainer and a certified youth mentor. Yeah, so she's here with us, and that speaker will be our very own CEO PMAK, who is Mr. Amphi Andani. He's also also a corporate trainer. Sorry for that. He's also a motivational speaker and an inspirational speaker. And I believe that in this training, as you have had, we have our trainers who are certified, who have already attained a level of success. And I know we will to the right knowledge for us to be successful. So our first speaker will take us through understanding what success is all about and the paths to success. And also the second speaker will talk to us on how now to build the success that we've been told about. And then the other speaker will finalize by telling us how to gain and multiply and utilize the success that we have acquired. So that is our program for the training. And I would like us to begin. So when we are talking about a success path, all angles, and that includes education-wise, that is being successful in your career, also in your business. We have business people, we have entrepreneurs, how to be successful in that area. We have being successful in leadership, in the leadership that you are in, how to be successful in that, in all aspects of life. We just want to understand how we can be successful in all this in all these parts. So I would like to welcome our first speaker, who is Ambassador Wendy Mutegi, to start off the training and speak to us. So allow me welcome Ambassador Wendy Mutegi to take us through the first segment of this training. Karibu sana, Ambassador.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I hope you can all hear me.
I can't hear you, madam.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, somehow, a bit. Yeah, a little bit low, but I can get your voice.
I think I can hear you very clearly. And can you hear me now?
The mouthpiece, check the mouthpiece of your headphones. It's too far from.
But I can hear you very well. Can you hear me now?
Maybe, Harriet, can you hear?
Can hear, but from far. Maybe you can add the volume of the phone.
I am at my loudest.
Or loud.
Good morning,
Okay.
Harriet.
Morning, Mandy.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
But I think you'll have to maintain that loud voice.
I think I'll probably be shouting in the house then.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but you
Karibu.
can hear me now? Can you hear me now, all of you?
Yeah, you can get the information.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I want to take this opportunity to thank you, to thank the team, and thank you, Esther, for the introduction. And I'm grateful to be part and parcel of this. I think I'll go straight to my introduction of the topic. If you don't hear me, please indicate that you cannot hear me. I want to start by stating that success is not a place you arrive. And success is something continuous. And I'm happy to see that it's indicated as a success path. So I normally analyze success as something that you achieve on a day-to-day basis. Are we clear on that?
Excuse me, madam. I am not getting
yes.
you clearly. I can't hear you well.
Oh my God. Me now?
Yeah, it's coming up clearly now.
Can you hear me? Now you can hear me? Because I'll do without the earphones, if you can hear me.
Now you're very
Yes,
audible.
yes. Now
Yes.
you're okay. Continue
Now
that way.
Yes.
Okay, then I do without the earphones then.
Okay.
Yes, so I began by indicating that I am not a believer of success as an end. To me, success is something that is continuous. It's a continuous realization of worthwhile goals. So when we are talking about success, we have to get back. I think you have noted on my contributions that normally I am the kind of person who takes people back to the inner self. And I'm the kind of person that is very proactive, never reactive. I'm the kind of person who encourages each one of us to know what exactly we want in life, because you cannot talk about success without knowing exactly what we want in life. So I am a firm believer that we cannot explain success, particularly at an individual level, without explaining to ourselves what exactly we want to draw from life. Whether it's a career path, whether it's a business, whether it's life, relationships, there are areas that I'll be talking about that one must have goals in all those areas to deem himself or herself successful. Naona Janet anaitisha notebook. Are we all on the same page on that?
Yes, we
Hello,
are.
everybody.
We are.
I'm free. I think you need to stay there so that I can see at least there's somebody. I can see the picture of somebody continuously.
Sawa.
Are we clear on what I define as success?
Okay.
It's a continuous achievement of worthwhile goals, a realization of goals. You have to set a goal. When you realize that goal, then you indicate to yourself that, yes, I am now successful in that area. I have achieved that goal. I am successful.
That's the point.
We are clear on that?
We are clear.
So what I say that I keep learning how to improve my life. I keep learning how to achieve my goals. I keep learning how to realize my full potential. And that can only happen if I continuously set goals. I don't know whether we all understand what is innate for setting goals and what it means to set goals in our lives.
Yeah.
I need to hear a response as I continue.
Myself, personally, I think our members can participate as we continue.
Yes.
Members, you're allowed to participate.
Yes, great. Thank you for saying that.
Yes.
Members, can we hear from each one of us what we understand by setting goals? Harriet.
Okay. I'm following. I understand what we mean by setting goals. Yes. Yeah.
You wanted someone?
Esther. Yes, I'm free.
You wanted someone to really tell you the meaning of setting goal, or to say if they understand?
I would want to hear a feel of what we understand by that, because I really prefer interactive trainings.
Oh, thank you. On my end, a goal is like a mission. I look at it as something you set up to achieve within
Yeah.
a particular time frame.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so it's an assignment that you design yourself. You sort of
Yes.
architect, you design it. You say that I want to
Yes.
do this for this particular period. These are my expectations, and my
Yes.
outcomes are
I
this.
I would like to use the word attain.
Yeah.
I would want to attain this at the end of 2 days. I want to have achieved this. I want to have attained this. That's the way I would want to look at a goal.
Okay. Attaining.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, attaining, realizing. So that means on a day-to-day basis, we have to know what are we going to do tomorrow, because then we've got to be very specific in our lives. We've got to plan ahead. We've got to know what are we going to do tomorrow. Then tomorrow we can say, was I successful in what I planned yesterday to have done by today, in that simplified language.
Okay.
Are we together on that page?
Yes, that is clear. Planning.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
there's something else I needed to discuss. There are 7 areas where we have to set goals in every of those areas so that we can have a complete life. And the 7 areas, the first ingredient we have to look at when we are setting goals is, number 1, whether the goals that we'll set will give us a peace of mind.
Okay.
The reason why peace of mind is very important is because we live a life, on a day-to-day basis, we live a life where people are troubled. And when by the time you go back to bed, maybe you probably need a pill to take you to bed, or you need to take a drug. You're not happy, you're upset. Some people need to take maybe some alcohol to be able to go to bed. So we need to set goals that will bring us a peace of mind. That's number 1 ingredient of living a successful life. Number 2, we need to set goals that are in alignment with our health and energy. Number 3, we need to set goals that are in alignment with our loving relationships, because you cannot say that you're successful in one area. Success is all round. Yes, so you need loving relationships around you. You've got to set goals around those relationships. Number 4, you need to set goals that lead you towards financial freedom. Number 6, you need to have worthy goals and ideals, and I'll be talking about an ideal. Yes, worthy goals and ideals. We all must have an ideal in our mind, an ideal that pushes us in life, an ideal that we have, and something we say that this is exactly how we see ourselves, within a certain period of. Without an ideal in your life, then you cannot be moving from one point to another. And number 6, there's the aspect of self-knowledge and self-awareness. That is very, very important. One must know who you are. You have to be self-aware. Otherwise, you begin to define success from other people. You begin to define success from what I call externalities. Yes, because your neighbor has bought a car, then you think, yes, you now need a car. Or, your brother has got a house, then you say you now need a house because someone else has it. That's externalities. We need to avoid setting goals using our 5 senses, So that's why we need self-knowledge. You need to know who you are. Who you are is very important. You need to be self-aware of who you are. You can only measure your attainment of your goals vis-a-vis the self-knowledge and who you are. And finally, you need to identify something that gives you personal fulfillment. I mean, for us who are in education, we know that there's something we call Maslow's hierarchy of laws. And the hierarchy states how people move from one level to another. And personal fulfillment is actually what Maslow calls self-actualization. So we need to set goals that give us self-fulfillment, you know, that on a day-to-day basis, you feel fulfilled. You feel, yes, by the time you're going to during the day, you don't have regrets, you know, you're not struggling with what you did not do. Someone is asking something?
No, I think he has not muted his mic. Let me. It's okay. We
Okay.
can continue.
Kindly, please. Could you repeat?
Yes.
Kindly repeat the 7 ingredients of setting goals. Kindly, please.
The 7.
Just in
Number
passing.
number one is peace of mind.
Yes.
Now, and I want to put a note when you're writing the 7 ingredients, that you must know that these are the ingredients of an ideal life. Yes, these are also the ingredients of an ideal life. So such that when you're setting goals now, you're figuring out what your ideal life is. Number 1 is peace of mind. Number 2 is health and energy. Number 3 is loving relationships. And now that I'm again on number 3, I want to add that your loving relationships must include a little bit of laughter. Yes. So if you're keeping relationships that don't make you laugh on a day-to-day basis, then I think you need to change the relationships, because healthy relationships must produce some laughter every day. I think we all know that the Bible says that laughter is medicine, you know, to the heart, you know. So the loving relationship must create a little bit of laughter, you know. Number 4 is financial freedom. Yes. And any one of us who does not understand the details of those can ask me a question on that. 4 is financial freedom, how you can be able to live a life when you're not indebted. I know a lot of people are quite indebted. So when we are setting goals, you have to have a focus of an ideal life where you do not owe anybody nothing but love, like the Bible says. Number 5 is worthy goals and ideals. And I said I'll be speaking something small about ideals, because each one of us need to have an ideal life in our minds. Our focus has got to have what we determine as an ideal life. You cannot set goals that are not pro your ideal life. And number 6 is self-knowledge and self-awareness. Yes, if I could add that, I would say that the 11th commandment is know thyself. You know, each one of us must know who we are. You have to have that self-knowledge. You must not gauge it with other people. You have to sit with yourself, have a meeting with yourself, and know this is who I am. Yes, and you've got to be self-aware of who you are. And number 7 is personal fulfillment. Yes, stuff must give you joy. And you'll also notice that I'll be using the word joy as opposed to happiness, because a lot of people find themselves in situations where they are looking for happiness. And you know, happiness is circumstantial. You know, you do something, you meet friends, you know, take 1 or 2 drinks, and you're very excited and very happy and say, oh yes, I was really happy. But in actual fact, that does not give you joy. So when I'm talking of personal fulfillment, I always prefer to refer to joy, you know, as opposed to happiness. Those are the 7. We got the 7?
Yes, we have the 7.
Thank you. Thank you. The next thing I need to indicate is that first and foremost, when we have an ideal life, you must know exactly what you want. Exactly what you want. Yes, exactly what you want. And I'll keep saying that. We must know exactly what we want. You cannot afford not to know what you want. You must be able to identify, this is exactly what I want. And when you know exactly what you want, you'll be able now to set goals on a day-to-day basis. By the end of the week, you'll be able to say, yes, I am feeling successful. I feel, yes, I have achieved one or two, three things according to my, I like the idea where you have a, like a book or a pad where every day you have daily activities that you have to do. You have short-term goals, you have long-term goals, and daily you're looking at your pad to see what have you achieved. That gives you joy and fulfillment, and it gives you a lot of personal fulfillment. Are we clear on that in vis-a-vis the success path?
Yeah, totally. Myself, I'm clear. I trust
Yes.
everybody is following.
Great. Now, I want to discuss, I think I have 5 more minutes. I'm free, isn't it?
Yes.
Before, yes. Now, there's something I want to discuss. When it comes to success, a lot of us are living from our external perspectives. Yes. And that is something I want to make very clear on a success path. When you're on a success path, you must live from the inside. You cannot afford to live from the outside. And what do I mean by living from the inside? You must not be programmed by, especially for young people. My son is 26 and my baby is 22. And I know a lot of times young people are driven by programs that are external. They hardly sit down to plan their time, to plan, this is what I want. But there's that crowd movement, where you're really guided by what friends are doing, where they are going. There's a lot of that happens to young people. But when it comes to a clear success path, then one has got to set a path that is so specific and so clear, and that is internally driven, not externally driven. Are we together on that?
Yes, we are.
When we next, when we have a clear success path, we need to know that there are two sets of laws. There are what I call man-made laws. When it comes to success, we have what I call man-made laws. And for the man-made laws, if you break one, then you're in trouble. Yes. And sometimes you're in trouble, but you can get away with it. Like you can break a law, but you don't find yourself in prison. You get away with it. The second type of laws is natural laws. And unfortunately for natural laws, you cannot break them and get away with it. And for natural laws, we have two types of laws again. We have the physical laws and we have the mental laws. Yes. And this is, when I get to the mental laws, this is very important on having a clear-cut path of success, because success a lot more is not physical. It is mental. And once you begin a mental path of success, then you have a sure guarantee of being successful, because what is inside is what manifests on the outside. I think the time will not be enough for me to get into programming ourselves into success, but probably we can do that another day. So when it comes to mental laws are the ones that deal with our inner selves. Yes. And we have to limit ourselves a lot, sorry, to our inner self, so that we have a clear path. This is what I want to achieve, and I will not allow my mind to waver. Yes, because remember, a lot of times what we spend our time thinking about is what we get from life. I mean, life is very fair and God is very just. So what we spend a lot of time thinking about is what we receive in life. So we really have to be very specific about how we operate in our mental laws, because that, you think one thing, you must get it, and nature will never go wrong on that. We are together on that?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Good. So if we want to be different people, and if we want to be successful, we must be successful and different from the inside. Once we are successful from the inside, then results will automatically be seen in our lives. Yes? So for instance, if I want a career path in education, for instance, now I want to give that as an example. If I want a career path in education, I need to be able to identify what a career path in education, what knowledge do I need, what information do I need, what relationships do I need, what kind of health, energy do I need for all this? What is the ideal? What do I need to be aware of? Is it going to give me fulfillment? Because statistics show that 95% of the population are in a place they don't like, with people they would prefer not to be with, and doing something they would say no to if they had an option. And for such people, for the 95%, we cannot describe them as successful. Because remember, we indicated that success is a realization of worthwhile goals. Yes? And if you're not fulfilled, you cannot say you're successful. If you're very sick and not healthy, again, you cannot say you're successful. And there's one question I always pose to young people, and I always ask, would you describe Steve Jobs as a successful person? The late Steve Jobs.
You want feedback?
Yes, I want feedback.
Okay, we open to the forum. Members can participate.
Members, Harriet, let's help each other. Would you describe Steve Jobs? Would you have described Steve Jobs as a successful person?
Thank you, Wendy. I think from my end, I would say no, because he was a very wealthy person. But if you looked at his family life, he hadn't spent some time with family. And among the 7 points you've given us, relationship is usually the most has more weight. So for me, I think it's 50-50, but I can't say he was successful, because some of the things that some of the relationships that he had were not, as you say, fulfilling for him. So that's my point.
Yes, I'm glad I'm really happy that you responded like that, because personally, I don't normally refer to him as a successful person. And for reasons that he also did drugs, he was unwell, he seemed to have money, family was in disarray. I mean, for me, that does not, show me a successful person. And those are some of the things that I really look at when it comes to success. And that's why I added the word laughter to loving relationships, because we have seen around us, actually, even to get a little bit, to get home, we have seen even in our own families, where families don't sit together to laugh, isn't it? There's money, there's food, people are going to work, but families don't sit around a table and laugh, and that indicates that the relationship is not healthy. And we also know a lot of young people are going into drugs because they think that drugs can give them a little bit of happiness, because they are not getting the happiness. I think for college students, we have seen another scenario that probably was still there when we were at the university, but I think now it's gotten worse, where a lot of young ladies are having, are they called sponsors or donors?
Sponsors.
Yes.
Donors.
Yeah.
You see? So we are also having a lot of that in our society right now. By the time kids are going to college, they have not established a success path, or they have not been trained or educated to have a clear-cut success path. And so they find themselves in a mix, you know? And so in short, because I think we had agreed with Humphrey that we'll do 15 minutes. I think I've gone beyond the 15 minutes. In short, I think those are some of the key ingredients we need to look at when we are defining how we can be successful and how we can start a success path in this world today. And as young persons, it's really good to be young. And personally, in my life, I have attained and achieved quite a number of goals that I had set for a long time. And also, when I was much younger, I worked really hard. So I didn't have time for social media. I didn't have time to go out. I didn't have time for a lot of things, because I had goals that I had to achieve. And I think if there's time, I'll be speaking a little bit more about time, you know, and we'll get into figures about time. But in the meantime, I would want to take the meeting back to, who was the moderator? The moderator is who?
Esther.
I want to take the meeting back
Esther.
for now.
Mm.
Esther, I'm back to you, Esther. Unmute.
We can't hear you, Esther.
I was using my earphones, so they are not serving me well. But what I was saying is that thank you so much, Madam Ambassador Wendy Mutegi. You really elaborated about success. You know, most of us young people, we think success is all about having money, full stop. So we are really chasing money, thinking that after we get that money is when we will be successful. But I want to thank you so much, because you've broadly explained what success really is, and also the 7 areas where we need to set our goals in, so that we can have an ideal life, or such a successful life. Like what really success means to means in the real sense, such that you brought the aspect of health, you brought the aspect of loving relationships, you brought the aspect of peace of mind, and that is so contrary to what the young people really think success is, because we've had, you know, when you hear young people saying, I want to be successful, when you just follow it up, what do you really mean to be successful? I want to have a big house, I want to have cars, I want to have, you know, I want to be a millionaire. But we've gotten to understand that success is more than that. And also the aspect of that success is not an overnight thing. You know, you can't reach a place and say, I'm successful. It's a continuous process every day. Yeah, every day. It is a continuous process. That's something else that I from you. And then the other aspect, which is very, very critical about success, defining success from the inside, not from the external environment. First, knowing who you are, self-awareness, self-knowledge about who you are, what you really want for life. Then from there, now you can start planning your path to success. Thank you so much, Ambassador Wendy Mutegi. We are grateful for that. And the many, many other things that you've told us about success, we are grateful. So,
thank you.
Yeah, karibu sana. Yeah, so we want to move on, and we can have some 2-3 questions from the audience. Anyone who maybe ask a question or a comment for our first speaker concerning what really success is, understanding success and this paths to success. Kindly, if you have any any question or comment, you can have 2 or 3 people to ask and comment. Thank you so much. You can raise your hand or just unmute and ask your question and go ahead.
I think as they prepare for the question, I have something to add. Ambassador, thank you so much. We are really grateful to have you around. And we're actually describing our success. No, the agenda of the training is for the trainees, those who are learning, to understand that at the end of this program, we should be able to understand this subject, success path. And I like the way you brought it up. And I'm really just linking from the point of the inner self, the inner self. I like saying we are all born successful, but from the day we were born, we started to become failures. So failing begins the day you're born. But that is actually encompassed by the type of information you feed in. So this so-called money, wealth, material things should get you right and with the right character. I think we'll be talking about that as we continue, showing you how you really need to be set before even the success comes. Because you should be able to be a successful being, somebody who can handle success before even you acquire it. If that is not really possible, then any success that will come in, it will also go out. Rather, you'll misuse it, or it can destroy you. So thank you, Wendy, for showing us how to really define or describe the path, because it's a movement. We are in school because we want to be successful. We are doing careers because we are aiming to be successful. We do business because we want to be successful. But what is this success we are talking about? So that's the question. At the end of the program, you'll be able to have the answers to such question and other type of questions in that line. And for the benefit of the people we are training and those who will follow up from our social media platforms, we are suffering from a very critical thing. I was just trying to look at something I wrote there. We are suffering from a very sensitive problem that we call, myself, I call it not knowing who you are, like not taking advantage of the ability you carry. I don't want really to think there, but I don't think if God is so unfair, or rather is so unorganized, to create somebody who can fail. That is to mean failure on my definition is man-made, and it is a product or a multiple of the things we do in a daily basis. So I know our second speaker will be building up on after discovering the success path, how do you build it up? Me, I was just to add and say that for sure success is inbuilt. You should have these abilities inside you before they crystallize, before they become visible to the outside world. So the behavior-wise, I'll be coming to that when I'm doing my presentation. I don't want to preempt. Wendy, you've captured it well. Thank you so much. The inner self, the inner personalities. It's what I've just wanted to really emphasize. So, and again, I was preparing space for our audience to prepare questions. So I think questions are ready. You can bring them on board as we continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for that additional knowledge that you've added, and also the emphasis on success being an inside thing. Yeah, you begin from the inside. It's a very, very critical comment and point that you've emphasized. So I would like to welcome the members. If you have any question or comment, kindly go ahead and ask before we go on to our second speaker, who's going to tell us now, after now we've identified our success, now how do we build that success?
Hello.
Yes.
May I ask a question, please? Yes, may I ask this question?
Yes.
I'm struggling to understand
Yes.
how, if I realize that I'm planning for success, but the relationship is not that gives me laughter, there is no joy in it. How do I maneuver my personal success and leaving those who are not making it successful? Thank you.
Thank you, Janet. I think it's one thing that needs to be very clear, Janet. Yes. And I want to pose it as a question again. How can you have a peace of mind with amidst toxic relationships? Janet.
Yes.
How can you have a peace of mind amidst toxic relationships?
It can't work, I hear you.
Can it work?
No.
Yes, so I'm still back to part of the ingredients that we need to look at, yeah? Because at the end of the day, when you're creating a clear success path for yourself, I would suggest that you become very selfish with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes? There's what I call having an executive meeting with yourself.
Oh yeah, thank you.
And when you have an executive meeting with yourself, is that what you want? In fact, it will be very clear that you don't want toxic relationships around you, period. That's it. Is that clear? Are we together, Janet? Hello?
I hear you.
Are you hear me, Janet?
Yes, I'm hearing you clearly. Thank you.
Yes. So I think one of the goals you need to set, remember, goals are supposed to be positive. Yes?
Yes.
One of the goals you now set is you want happy relationships. You want good relationships. You want relationships that will move you to your next level. The amazing thing is when you set it as a goal, the toxic relationships will automatically depart. Because you'll be very clear in your mind, this is what I want and I'm not going to compromise with it. For me, I believe that we must not compromise on what we want. Because when I am clear, this is exactly what I want, then I cannot compromise that. It's what I want and I will get it. It's my path, it's what I have created, and I'll go for it and I'll get it. Do I answer you, Janet?
Yes, please. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Anyone else? Thank you so much, Janet, for that question. So it seems we are all settled with the first segments where Ambassador Wendy Motegi has taken us through about understanding success. If there's no any other question or comment concerning that, then it's wise we move on because of time.
Yes.
So you'll allow me welcome the second speaker. Thank you so much, Ambassador Wendy Motegi.
Thank
We
you.
are grateful and we
appreciate.
yeah. We shall have questions at the end of the session, the training. So I believe we'll be able to take us through. So karibu sana Harriet Njeru, who is our second speaker, who will be now telling us more about how do we build these success paths. We have understood what success is. We are working to identify success. Now, after identifying success, how do we now build these success paths? So, karibu sana, Harriet Njeru, so that you can take us through that session.
Good night. I hope everyone has woken up well, and as I say, that's a small victory that we all need to be happy about.
Harriet, we can't hear you. We can't hear you well. It's technology things of headphones.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Yes, put that mouthpiece close to your...
Can you hear me now?
Very clearly.
Oh, okay, sorry about that. I was saying, welcome all for joining us today. As I said, it is a small victory that we all need to be happy in. It is part of our goal that we wanted to achieve today, that when we wake up today, we'll be in the training. And I'd like to emphasize more on Wendy's ingredients, that goal setting is really part of how we can be successful in life. It doesn't matter whether it's in the business sector or it's family. We have to be able to have goals set up. So I'll further expound on that as I speak on building a success track. I would like to share my screen. Allow me to share my screen, Esther.
It's okay.
The host, kindly allow me to share my screen. The host, Humphrey. Humphrey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Humphrey, allow me to share my screen. Humphrey, are you with us? Okay. Hello, Humphrey? Okay. So it doesn't look like he's online. Let me try and see how I can do this. Okay, so building a success track is quite easy. It depends on what exactly you're emphasizing on. As Wendy had earlier said, success is not basically to achieve or riches and wealth or big houses and mansions or big cars. It is more of being internally satisfied, or to have that human satisfaction that what you have done or where you've come from was worth the while. And as I said, or rather as Wendy said, it is always good to know that it is okay to have failure. You're growing and you're building your success is through these failures, because failures are there to teach us. As Jack Ma had said in one of his videos, that if you're not making a mistake, you're not growing, you're not building your success track. You have to be able to make mistakes, as many mistakes as you can, so that you can now get to the next level, which we call the small wins. So I don't know whether Humphrey is back. Are you back with us, Humphrey? Sorry for that. Humphrey, are you with us? Humphrey has left. Esther, maybe you can try and reach him as I try, and I wanted to share my screen. I'll start on it before we get Humphrey. So building the success path. Our youth have reached a point of asking, what should I do with my life? That's usually the major question that gets to most of us, mostly when we're in high school, or when you're about to finish high school, or when we are beginning university. People actually go to colleges and universities not knowing which career to follow. And even if they do know what career to follow, eventually, maybe 2 years down the line, they realize that that was not their goal, or that is not what they want to achieve. So because of pressures, because of external factors, you realize that even right now, if you look at many people, they are in a job that they did not even read for, okay? So it becomes very hard for many to understand at the point when they go to answer of what should I do with my life. Humphrey, you're back. Allow me to share my screen. Allow me to share my screen.
Yes, let me allow you. I was just responding to another important call. Sorry. Just continue as I do the setups.
Okay. So when you go into college or university, you feel that you are not ready. Even after you've done your 4 years of, or 2 years or 3 years of college education, you still feel that you're not ready. And basically, college and university are supposed to be preparing us for survival and thriving in the world of work. I mean, why do we even go there? Because our expectations are, once we get out, we will be able to handle the world according to how we have been taught, especially the careers that we want to go into. Sometimes even we have even talks in the college and clubs that allow us to grow individually. And even after all that, we still expect to be ready. But I would like to say that once you go outside the world after completing your degree or your college education, you will find that things are now different. They're not what you had expected them to be, okay? And you might feel very anxious as well. So I'd like to say that it's okay to not even know what you're doing right now in terms of what you're studying, what you want to achieve, what is your career path. It is okay to feel the way you're feeling. Because even me, if I could tell my story, is that once I was done with high school, I was very agitated to stay at home waiting to go back to go to university, or to be called to university, or to begin college. As I said earlier in my previous training session, is that my mom and my dad had so many things they wanted me to do. Okay, these are the external pressures we're talking about. And I was not ready. And because of the fact that I was not aware of what I wanted to do, I picked a course which is secretarial studies to pursue in college, so that at least anything that would keep me busy was my way out of it. So I decided to take the secretarial studies, and when I went to college, I realized that many students had many different courses going on. Called law, there is finance, accounting, and secretarial studies was looked at as a very small course to go through. Okay, so you feel belittled doing such a course, but eventually, what I was mostly proud about, to fast forward my story, what I was most proud about is the fact that all my examinations were done through NEC, something that I knew was an achievement for me, because I could be able to track, even if I was to go anywhere, I can validate my skills that I learned, the skills that I learned in college, through an examining body that is known. Okay, and that is how I got my first job eventually, and my second job, because I was a personal assistant, and I was able to then start companies as a secretary. I was the first secretary in those two companies that I joined, and I was able to streamline and network. And going forward, things became so smooth that I realized. Let me go there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you all see my screen? I hope you
Yes.
can all see my screen.
Can see you.
So, yeah, so we were able, thank you. So I was able to succeed in 4 years of secretarial studies, and I learned a lot, okay? But as I said earlier, it doesn't stop there, okay? It doesn't stop there. So the uncertainty you're feeling right now about your future, it will never go away. As I finished the 4 years, I was like, I can't go on with this. I need to grow. And you know, even for secretarial studies, there is the highest ranking you can go is maybe a certified public assistant, or I think something about that, CPA, I don't know, CPS. But there's nothing further. So that is actually the ceiling. So I said, I am more than this. And I made sure that I created a path whereby, or I built my path to be able to allow myself to grow and to get opportunities that will make my life better. Okay, so I'm sure you don't want to wait 15 years or 10 years to realize what is your success, or what is your success track. Okay, you have to start where you are right now. God has given us and wherever you are right now in your journey, might come and also contribute to where you're going. So baby steps, I really advocate for baby steps. There's something we call a victory log. Always check and see, what have you done this week? Okay, what have you achieved this month? And that way, you will realize that you're actually growing. If you find that you're stagnating in your growth, then you'll need to be able to raise the bar. Being in your life relationships, being in careers and all that. Always ensure that you're growing. As I said earlier, I thought I knew what I wanted to do, but I did not. Though along the way, I developed the patterns of success and failure. Okay, so the failure was that I was not growing in my secretarial job, and I decided to to grow. So that raised the bar for me. Now, let's not forget, achieving our goals and dreams is fantastic, but that is not the most important thing about setting goals. The most important thing is the type of person that we become along the way. Okay, so even with the failures, even with the relationships that we develop, we say people come to our lives either to teach us a lesson, or to grow with us, or to impact us. We have to be able to appreciate that in all aspects of our life, that we are growing. And for us to grow, we have to have an open mind and appreciate anything that comes our way. So be open-minded. Let's not have a stagnated mindset that this is how I have to be. Because even with Corona, no one knew that this Corona would hit us this way. But for some of us, we need to have been able to rise above the situation. We are all here trying to grow ourselves, trying to be able to understand that nothing, it's not over till we say it's over, or until God says it's over. We have to continue growing. We have to continue with life. Remember where you started, and remember why you started. Remember why you went to college in the beginning. Okay? Don't forget why you are there. Don't forget why you went to high school. Don't forget why you started that relationship. There was something that was, there was an objective to everything that you started. So let's not forget why we started, to be able to move forward. Okay. So how do we know that what we started is building us to our success? How do we know? First of all, as Wendy has really emphasized, is the goal. So let's be able to identify our goal. And when I say goal, it means ensure that every week you have a victory log that says that this week I have achieved this and this and this. I have met new friends. My finances have gone up. Okay. And once you were able to establish that we are progressing, or that we are improving in our goals, then you will know you're building your success. Another point is building a career path. Okay. For some of us who have completed maybe college, you did not have this kind of thing. But right now, as I want to also continue with school, I have already a plan on how I'll be able to handle some of the, or to how to start courses that will allow me to be what I have already set as my goal, which means either enroll with maybe human resource course, or counseling course. That is my track. So for me to be able to go that way, I have to be able to set up an objective on how to grow towards that career. Okay. Let's be aware of our strengths. Okay. I might have a strength of leadership. I might have a strength of which other strengths do we have? Fast learning, innovation. Let's identify with our strengths. Once we identify our strengths, we are able to know what we are good at. In my previous company, it's a very corporate company I was working for. I was there as an agent, a sales agent. I was there as a sales agent. Now, for 10 years, I worked as a sales agent, but I felt that wasn't enough for me. I felt like I was a leader. I mean, you know, when you do something for some time, you gain skills. And when you gain skills, you realize that there's more that you can do. So I wanted to be a leader. And I embarked in the field of the company, or in the department of the company, where I was able to to lead others in training and let them understand let them understand the products and the services that are in the company. And with this, you know, when you're trying to do something, you don't expect money. You do it as volunteer. That is why we have internship in most of these colleges. We have internship. It's good to be able to volunteer. So I volunteered for around 3 years, and I was eventually made a leader, a team lead trainer. Okay, and eventually I got to my goal, which was being a leader. So identify your strengths, and that way you'll be able to work strongly on them and succeed. Another thing is assume full responsibility for your life. I mean, you cannot go around expecting things to happen and you're not already admitting to your responsibility. If your responsibility right now at home is to ensure that food is supposed to be cooked at this time, make sure that it's done. Another thing we do with responsibility is blame others for our responsibility. If it is your responsibility to do this duty at this specific time and you are not able to handle, please be courteous, have integrity, or have, what can I say, have courtesy of apologizing, and not only apologizing, be proactive and say, well, I can do this tomorrow. Instead of you doing it, let me do it. So being responsibility and taking full responsibility of your life is key in all your success tracks. Whether you have business, life, and all of them, relationships, it is always good to be responsible, be accountable. And if you cannot, please look for an accountability partner who will be able to help you, because some of us cannot, even with the responsibility bit, some of us cannot be responsible of ourselves. So have an accountability partner who will be able to also help you track your success in this topic, the topic of how to build. Always raise your standards everywhere you go. If you settle for less, you will get less. If you always raise your standards, you will always go to those levels of your standards. So if you do what you've always done, you will get what you've always gotten. So don't settle. Don't ever settle for less. Okay? I don't know how many minutes I have, and I think we're way past time. Humphrey? Esther, how many more minutes do you have?
No, you still have time. You continue.
Okay. I'm almost finishing though, but to get my 6th point on how you can build your success track, brand yourself. You are uniquely created by God. There is no one like you. Your fingerprint is very different, is actually the only one from any other person in the world. You're a special human being. You were brought into this world for a reason. You need to be purpose. You need to have purpose with that kind of thinking. I will say I am Harriet, and this is me. These are my values, and this is where I draw the line between my values and my vices. If you do not have a set standard for yourself, and you're not running yourself, you're any other anybody, which is never going to happen, because as they said, they're unique in ourselves. How others see you and how you see yourself is what should guide you to build your brand. Okay, others might see me what do you say, others might see me like I am what do you call it, authoritative, and how I see myself is leadership. So what I'm building out of that is leading people to the right path. So you need to look at what people look at you as, but you also need to know what you're looking yourself at as, sorry. And in the middle, that is where your brand will come from. Okay, so whatever people have, whatever, it's very good to also understand how people view you. Very okay. I love that. I love criticism. I love negative feedback. I appreciate negative feedback. I also appreciate positive feedback. If you see me in the groups, I always side chat you, and I ask you, please give me your feedback. You look like you're not satisfied with this. And negative feedback comes in. And at the end of it all, you're able to do negotiation with you and that person. And they realize you're a different person altogether. That is why I always say, brand yourself. Let people know this is not exactly how you see me. This is why I'm doing this, because this is how I am. Okay. Last but not least is network. Everywhere you go, please, just because it's quarantine doesn't mean that you keep quiet in your house and relax. There is still time for networking. You're very young. You're at an age whereby you need to know everyone and everybody. You need to know people in all aspects, even your aunties, your relatives. It's very important, as Wendy had said earlier, building on your relationships, things that make you laugh and understand different scopes of life. Networking. You're very lucky, or PMAK is actually lucky to have you, and you're very lucky to have PMAK on your side, because this way you get to meet other people, you get to meet guest speakers, and we will be bringing more speakers from outside the country, even within the country, people who have succeeded in their life. And you will get to learn and network with them, and you never know, you might be able to find your path there or your purpose in this talk. So network a lot, say hi, and check up on people. Okay, when you go outside there, when we go back to our normal life, also make sure you totally make use of the people around you. Another thing I did forget is have a mentor. If you're not sure of, even up to now, where you are, it is okay to have a mentor. A mentor in any field of your life, relationship, finance, if it's business, if it's, just get a mentor who is already established in their life, who has been able to lay a foundation for themselves. And those are the best. Because us, we never used to have mentors. It was cast on stone and baptism by fire. You learn what you learn. If you have lost your money, you're gone. But right now we have so many mentors who are willing to lead you and guide you, even coaches, if you like. Please be responsible and go that extra mile and look for a mentor. In conclusion, I would like to say that building a successful path takes time. You will not wake up in the morning and see that these goals have become for 1 month. How come I've achieved them and I'm not successful? No, it takes time. It also takes effort. You need to be able to volunteer as many times in your life to get to where you want to be. Trust me, I really did my volunteer in many companies that I have been for more than 3 years. And I never got my promotion, but I learned some skills, and that is why I'm here, a trainer by profession. So it will take effort and it will take patience. So don't rush the process. Just learn, enjoy the journey. If you're willing to sacrifice some free time, you're willing to get out of your comfort zone, you will succeed. If not, then things will never happen the way you want to. It is not that hard. Honestly, it just takes courage and commitment to follow everything that you have targeted. So don't lose hope. Keep the fire burning. Pray every morning and set goals that every week, every day, that you'll have a victory log that says, yes, I am progressing, I am progressing, I am progressing. Thank you very much. Maybe I'll go back to Esther, yes?
Mr. Alex Njeru. That was profound on how guiding us on how to really build our success paths. And I've captured a few points which I didn't actually, maybe I knew, but I didn't. It had not really stuck in my mind concerning on how to build my success path. There's this big full responsibility for my life. That's very, very much from fun because you know most of us young people.
Yes.
I'll talk on behalf of the young people because that's something that is it's happening, and I've interacted with so many, and we really not say, but we really blame our parents, we blame our environment, we blame the government, we blame everyone. Like you don't want to take responsibility for our lives and for the sake of our success. We like, no, the government does not do this for us. There are no jobs, there's no money, there's no this and this. My parents did not take me to the. We just blame others for our failures and for where we are. But, I've captured that it is my responsibility to take charge of my life and my success. So thank you so much for those insights on how to really build this when it comes to branding ourselves, building our relationships, networking, having a mentor, having the courage and the commitment to really go for our success, and also to say that Wendy has said that success is a process, it's a continuous process, not an overnight thing. So some need to have the patience to really be able to wait, but also to grow. About growth, you grow with time. What you want to be. So not to rush the process. We need to be able to be patient. And most of us young people, we want quick cash, quick overnight billionaires and millionaires, and that's where we get it all wrong. That's why so many people they give up. They choose to go for the shortcut. Let me just be corrupt. Let me just steal so they can get this money. But understanding that building success takes time. It requires our patience, our effort, and commitment. Being consistent. If you need to fail, you just have to wake up and move on with of you being successful. So thank you so much, Harry Jeru, for that profound and insightful, short and clear session that you followed.
Thank you.
So I would like Karibu sana. I'm really learning a lot from you. So I would like to welcome any questions from our members concerning how to build our success. Any point that maybe you need elaboration or an emphasis, or you have any comments concerning the session that Madam Harriet Jeru has just taken through. Time to welcome on board. Just unmute and ask your question or say your comment.
Perhaps I would want to add something. Harriet, thank you very much for that presentation. That is powerful. I would want to add something. You know, you made a statement that it's okay to have failures. And normally I love to put it that it's okay to know many ways that you cannot achieve your goal. So it's really not a failure. You just learn. Abraham Lincoln, they say, failed 49 times but before he became president, but in actual fact, he just learned very many ways of not becoming president before that time. So I think when it comes to success, we normally say there are no failures. You just keep learning. You know, you do something, it doesn't work out the way you had planned to, then you know, yeah, this needs to be done in a different way. Yes, that's what I would want to add. Thank you, Harriet. On the other hand, I have a question to Esther. You know, as a parent, I'm getting a little bit interested. And I'm just wondering, Esther, you made a comment that, you know, Harriet talked about responsibility, and really that's true about success. You must take full responsibility of your life. But I'm just wondering loudly, why is it that young people blame parents? I'm just curious to know, why would it be that young people blame parents, you know, vis-a-vis success?
Okay, it's because young people think, okay, you're the one, you're okay. Let me just say it like you're the one. They are the ones who brought us to this world. Let me speak like a young people. Yeah, you're the ones who brought us to this world. It is your responsibility to take us to school and make sure that we go to school and learn. And also there's other part of raising up, like most of the young people are like, you know, my mom didn't raise me well. My mom didn't tell me this and that. My dad didn't tell me this and that. So we tend to look at that as like they are the ones who make us feel like not okay, not really being 100% the reason as to why we fail, but they are part of the reason, yeah, like part of the reason why we've not succeeded, because maybe they didn't take you to school. Maybe you completed your Form 4 and your parents were not able to take you to the college. Like, you know, it's a responsibility. You need to pay my school fees because you are my father, you are my mother. You need to take a responsibility of paying my school fees, but you've not done that. Yeah, because now you didn't pay my school fees, because now there are things that you didn't teach me when I was a young person. And so we tend to like blame our parents that they didn't groom us well so that we can be successful and handle this life well so that we can be successful. That's what I can say.
May I add on to
Wendy.
that, please?
Oh, Janet, you want to add? Okay.
Yes, I wanted to add in answering that question.
Okay.
Why young people blame parents? And I'm answering it from a point of view of me being a parent. Sometimes we parents insist on what our children should study. And when they study what we insist on, and when they get into the field and they meet what they were not expecting, like failing to get a job, they come and blame us. And sometimes we insist on the children that this is what will lead them to good life. When they study it and reach there and find no good life in that, they don't enjoy what they are doing, they come back blaming us. And sometimes the parents did not achieve something and they want to achieve the same thing in their own children. So they push the children unconsciously to go and study to fulfill themselves. That is fulfilling themselves in the lives of the children. This also really hurts children. I meet many of such cases in counseling. And to give example of my own daughter was pushed by the father to study education, but she wanted to study being a nurse for children. Just nursing children. That is what she was passionate about. So up to date, she's very bitter of what she was made to study. But now her achievement, her performance at Form 4 could not give her degree in that, but she could start from her diploma. But the father insisted that now you have got something that can make you get a degree, go for degree, you see. Sometimes we hurt these children, I agree. And now at my age, I'm in that age where I'm looking back and see the goodness of the majority I'm leaving behind because I'm over 50. So these are things we need to look at as mentors, and especially if you are above 50, or if you are not, but you have knowledge, to start mentoring these children together with their parents in a way that is going to bring success for the children and for the whole society. Thank you.
Thank you,
Yes.
Janet.
Yeah.
And I wanted to add, thank you, Janet. I think we introduced this parenting mentorship for a reason. Janet, Wendy, you might have played it well on your side, but the truth is I've gone to the 3 counties, and some of these arguments you'd say about parents failing them is really true. Because I listened to them, and Janet has brought it very clearly in a career path. In career path, that's how they say. It's true that parents enforce them to pursue what they think is right. And there's also home care and environment, the environment that parents give to kids when they are growing up. Some parents don't give. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, some parents, okay, I've walked across the country. Some parents don't provide this environment. You see, like a father is drunkard, he goes home, he's harsh, he beats the kids, then the kids don't get enough time to study or enough time to put their dreams into practice. Some parents can't support their children's visions, even financially. Maybe a child wants to have a business or something like that. Parents refuse to give them money because they don't trust them, or maybe other reasons. And school fees, I know we are townish, but in the rural areas, children leave school or drop out of school because of school fees matters, lack of food at home, be forced to go and do some funny things to have a living. So you find there's so much. That package is reality, but we cannot withdraw that from existence. It's true that some parents, I'm going to be categorical, some parents, they play a very big role to the children's failure. And that's why children complain on that. Though some, they just complain out of arrogance and ignorance because parents have given them all they should have, but themselves, they have used peer influence and some other things to fail. So it is a subject that I think we will come to it again, whereby we will be doing a tracer study of parenting now on parents. I've done a tracer study on the students or on the youth, and we have data for that. So I will also think that we should also interrogate parents of different class. Then we see how best we approach this subject, because a very big component in PMAK in terms of helping the parents and the children to really survive, help each other. And but there a secret that I also noticed is that some parents are rigid in thinking, okay, not all, but they don't want to trust that the child knows something they don't know. Like each time a child says something new, they'll be like, that one I know, like I'm a parent here. Like they know everything. They want to relate. They want to fix 2020 to look like 1990. The rigidity. When they were 18 years, it was 1990. This child is 18 years at 2020. So there is a transition error, technological error. The child might be knowing things that the parents doesn't know. So a wise parent, you should build your support from the child's thought, or rather you give the child the chance to speak first, then you use his brain to build a formula of supporting him or disagreeing with what he's proposing. So, but some parents, they just dismiss you point blank before even you say anything. You'll be like, Daddy, I need internet to do business. Be like, no, internet, people are misusing internet. They're all over. For his mind, is like, you'll go and Google wrong sites. So that's how it's happening out here. But thank you, you brought it up and you answered it well, you've argued well. we'll come back to it and see how best we can help the parents and help the students and help the teachers to interrelate well and build a disciplined team who is self-driven and successful. And that's the vision of the organization. Thank you that we have parents around, Wendy and Janet and others, and Harriet is also a parent. I think with all this knowledge in place, I think we are going to help parents out here. I was in Kibwezi with over 400 parents, and we talked. And I was like, they wanted in Muranga, and they wanted us to go back. And there's also a session in Kibwezi for parents that we need to go and handle. We try and think with them. We're not going to accuse them, discriminate their effort. No, we're going to reason with them and show them what we think can be done, and they tell us what they think can be done. Then we put all together the information and build a life to the young generation that is coming up. So we just need to accept that things have changed. Your child might not use internet more than you 1,000 times. So parents need to really start appreciating these facts and use them for the better of their generation, because when the child is successful, your name, your lineage is successful, and things like that. Sawa. Okay, back to the moderator. We were just putting comments on the point that Wendy raised. Asante sana.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a comment. And if it's not, kindly we can move on to our last trainer. Sorry for that. Who will now take to the last session, and that is our own CEO, Mr. Anki Anani. He's now going to tell us on how to maintain, multiply, and utilize the success that we have attained. Yeah, karibu sana, Mr. Anki Anani.
Okay, can you see my presentation? I don't know. Are you there?
Yes.
You can see my presentation?
Yes.
Yes.
So I wanted just to sort of briefly, I'll try to be very brief. And because much has been said, I would like that at least in the side chat, if you capture a comment or something that is a question, you can type there, and then we'll be able to respond to you at the end of the program. Well, wonderful. We all want to be rich. And I know all of you, wherever you are, even now you listening here, some of the guys who've paid for them registration money, but because they are poor plus poor mindset, now they can't even get 50 bob to buy data to really be here. Okay, some of them, it's not their fault, but some of them, and I'll tell you, some of them actually, good percent, it is their fault. Well, that's why we wanted them to be here. Of course, we are talking to young people across the country. And the reason for this training basically is also for the benefit of those who are who will be watching the video, if at all we'll be able to have captured the video to the end. Success path. Most of the people we recruit in PMAK Association of Kenya are tertiary students, and they are way far in life. You see, 18 years, 19 years, 20 years, 21, 22, 23, 24, as we go forward. And with the observation and with analysis, they don't have the right mindset. And that's why we brought this topic of success path to try and ensure that some of you understand these matters. And you go and help others understand these matters. That it is not magic. Everybody is waking up to go and look for success. Everybody is trying things to really gather success. And I was watching a clip yesterday night, and I was happy when someone was trying to mimic the president. And he was like, even the president sits down and think like, I'm not successful. Like, you try to see like, if I can be like Bill Gates, you see, trying to think beyond what he has. But now here in the country, you'll be like, wow, this guy has really achieved a lot. So success, as one of our presenters said, is not a destination that you're going to land there. No, it's a process. It's a continuous process. Each level you attain, you will always want to go higher. And each class you gain comes with a lot of demand. So you'll always feel that it's not enough. Okay. Yeah. So you'll be like, I'm driving. You see, by the time you start driving, you need fuel, parking fee, you need to repair the car, all those things, insurance. So the cost has increased. Yes, you're earning well a little bit, but the demand has gone high. So you find that in each state of your success, as opening remarks, there is always an increased demand that will make you feel it's not enough. But before you reach there, I want us to sort of look at this. We are talking of success path, and myself, I'm meant to basically talk about these subjects: maintaining, multiplying, and utilizing your success. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You know, I usually doubt this internet. So if you hear me ask that question, just ensure you type, or rather you, one person as you do can be responding to ensure that we are together. Success path: maintaining and utilizing and multiplying your success. I, you guys, I usually challenge my guys in the village. Each one of them, of course, when they ask money from me, of course I give them, but I challenge them, when will they start giving? So it will be coming in this subject. I'll give you more example, practical example, why even you that you're listening to this video and motivation, all of you, why today you still feel like there are things you need and you can't afford. Yeah, so that is an error. We call a computational error in the success part. So this is an error that will always be there until the time you finish life. So don't worry about it. You will always want to have something, and when you cross-check, you can't afford. And I can assure even the topmost guys in the country, there are things they can't afford now, but if they make arrangements, they can afford. So today I'll be addressing this subject. But before that, let me bring you back a little bit to the earlier presenters. Identifying your success paths. There are a few points here I want you to take into attention. And the reason I'm training you is for you to train others. That's my subject, that's my aim. And for you to improve and actually help others to improve, we need to increase that chain until the world ends. We're not going to point fingers, even as it's brought up in the earlier discussion about parents failing students, etc. No, the generation we are building in PMAK, we don't want to point fingers to anybody. We want to use our own abilities, our own strategies, our own mindset to actually succeed and help others to become successful. So career paths, it was not clear, but the presenter really placed it very well. But these are some of the career paths, not career paths, sorry, success paths. And I would love that you people discover this keenly. I've not highlighted everything. This point number one can be a career path, I mean a success path. Oh my goodness, I'm used to training on careers. I'm sorry for that. This point number one, careers, can lead to your success. So it can be part. Let me show you how it's going to be. You can be a teacher, you train as a teacher, you get employed as a teacher, you earn as a teacher, you build your success from your career. You see, it's a career path. So you walk with it to the far end. So everything you need in life, it's fully relying on your career. Like money you get from your career can help you to buy a car, can help you to buy a house, help you to buy a family, to build a family, like that. So that's one career path I'm talking about. But there is another career path which we call business. That's why I wanted you to distinguish what we mean by a career path first. before I come and show you other things. Business is another career path. And as you all know, there are many successful people in the country who dwell in business alone. Even they never went to school beyond class 8 or beyond Form 4. So for them, they are focused on business. Even international rich guys, their path is business. You see, like the Bill Gates, like the Benzo, like the Zuckerberg, they are all relying on business as their success path. So if you ask them about anything like, oh, you did career in engineering, can you be an engineer? They'll be like, no, no, no. I'm the CEO and the founder of Amazon. And that's where I build my success from. I am the owner of this boutique. I'm the owner of this supermarket. I'm the owner of this company, Detmark Limited. You see, that is their success paths. They have some business oriented ideas, and that connects to point number 3, which is companies. Okay, so it's also a success path. You may have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 companies, one company, Evo. So it's your success path. So from my perspective is that success path is where you build your the area of your concentration, where you've placed most of your attention. This is where your income comes from. This is where you are joy. Like if you want to make your family happy, you have money to make them happy because you have a source of income. We have farming. We have guys who've dwelled in farming, and they are specialized in maize farming, or in livestock farming, or in poultry farming, and they are earning very well. And we have people who have specialized in real estates, and people who have specialized teaching. In this case, I could have said training. I'll edit my slides. Training and modeling, like these are guys who are using their talents. Like now as PMAK, all our trainers here, they are TOTs, and you can hear them say, I'm a certified trainer. Yeah, so you find these trainers, they can come and train in PMAK or elsewhere, and they earn income. The list is long a little bit. I didn't want to break it down because I just wanted to give you a glimpse of what do we mean by a success path. It is an area of your life where you rely on your, living. Let me use that word. Like this is an area of your concentration. Like this is where I get money from, and this money, which is an income, will help you now to handle other components of your life. Are you good to that point?
Yes.
Good. Now that you've discovered the success path, and Wendy did it very well in a deeper now context, showing you how to handle these particular chambers. So that said, I'll have also to mention just a few words here before I go to my slides, to my area of discussion. Building your success path now. Now that you have discovered, me, I can do well with business. Me, I can do well with singing. Me, I can do well with acting. Okay. Me, I can do well with my career, engineering. Now that you've discovered your success path, how do you build it? Oh, and before we see how we build it, by the way, you need to have at least 3 minimum success paths for you to go far in life. And I'm saying minimum. I usually say 5, but for the youth, for the benefit of the youth, establish 3. Don't think about money when you're building success paths. Go inside yourself and find out, what are you good at? Are you good in modeling? Are you good in singing? Are you good in writing books? Are you good in speaking, preaching? Are you good? Find out what you're good at. When you discover these things you're good at, then put them in writing that this is what I can do. Money will follow you, trust me. Money will follow you. You just need to present your idea well. Money will follow you. And the fear that our teammates have even in PMAK main page, I know what is the threat because I'm psychologically fit. The threat is that they have gone to many trainings and they are told similar things and they don't see change in their lives. The problem is you, not the people who say things to you. Because you go in the trainings and you gather information and you put it in your head. So if we tell you, this is what you need to know, you say, that I know. When we tell you, you need to do this, that I know. And you're not doing them. Because the change is in the doing. It's not in the knowing. The change is in the doing. When you do it, that's when you start to change. And they like it or not. By the way, if you don't pull out of poverty, you will stay there. So there is a personal responsibility to pull off. To pull off, I mean by force, by fire. Like you refuse, you should not be comfortable with your current state. You must be able to pull off. You must drag yourself off that thing. So if you have information in your brain, so when you invite people for training, even elsewhere, they say, they just go and they are going to talk things we are used to knowing. Of course, now that's why in PMAK, we don't teach you things you want to know or used to know. We teach you things you ought to do and you have to do. So by so doing, you tilt your level, you tilt your success level, you tilt your character, you tilt your behavior, you tilt your mindset, then you go to a new lifestyle that is actually different from that you used to. So if I'm able to really survey or scavenge through the young people I've ever interacted with ever since, they miss a very basic component of practicing knowledge. And that's why today when you're in this training, note that if you don't practice knowledge, those guys ahead of your life who have failed, they are going to create space for you when they die. So you're just going to enter those chambers as another failure in the 2035 or in the 2050. What will make you different? What will make you a man who will stand and convince the country to take a step? A man who will stand and sponsor 1,000 students without Harambe. You see, a woman who will build a very wonderful hospital, that can't come automatic. There is a practical component of that dream that you really need to have an extraordinary muscle or an extraordinary mindset. And as I said, it all starts inside. And as Wendy and the Harriet said, you have to start inside you, okay? You build these things in you. I'll show you in my slides. Then the rest is just a walkover. Trust me, it's a walkover. I'm a young person and I'm walking over these challenges. So the rest is just a walkover. If you really know, discover, and you know who you are as a successful person. So building a success path, you've already established that I want to be an entrepreneur and I want to start a boutique, and they want to build my boutique to the end, or rather to have very many branches in the country so that they increase your income. So you need the following to build your success path. You need knowledge, you need money, you need time, you need networks and connections. And there is something else that relationships of love does. The first 3 points, knowledge, money, and time. Young people, they waste these 3 resources to build love for sexual interest. And you see you're wasting resources to build your success path. So it's a topic for another day. But my point is this, see how simple these things are. There's a reason I said knowledge is number 1. I could have said people. You need people to build your success path. But I'm saying you need knowledge, okay? So that will mean you need to access materials that deals with the type of success path you are building. So if you want your success path to be business, producing detergents, let me use my company as an example. This is a company that produces detergents. Now, I need knowledge on how to make detergents. I need knowledge how many companies in the country produce detergents. I need knowledge how many companies in the world produce detergents. How many suppliers export detergents in the country. I need a knowledge on that. I need to also have a knowledge on the ratio mixtures. How do I improve the quality of my detergents because of the competence in the world? So you see, I'm very inside the success part because we think these things happen automatically. When I click knowledge, you just think I'll watch videos on the YouTube and I'm okay. There is something else. You have an order, arrangement. Which type of knowledge do I need? Then you'll be like, I need to understand customers. What are customers saying about my product? What are the government regulations concerning my products? Because they are products that the government has placed regulations. You have to meet the standards of KEBS. What are the standards, KEBS standards for my products? If not that way, you need to have knowledge on consumers, those who are using your products. What are they saying? Need to have knowledge on your competitors. The same way it applies to your career, by the way. You need to have knowledge about, if you're a teacher, for example, because many of us are teachers and we appreciate all careers. That's why I like using teachers. What are your, those ahead of you, your successors, saying about teaching? Are they comfortable? Are they complaining? You need that knowledge. Inside this school, what will make you outshine your colleagues? So you need an expert. As you go to class, the teacher is adding knowledge to you. So all those type of knowledge is actually in line with your success path. So you're adding knowledge basically to do what? To ensure that your success path fulfills its objective. Because the objective of your success path is actually the life you are living should be good life. I think that's what everybody do what they do. They're aiming of having money, good life, all that. So after having knowledge, then you see money is something that has scared very, very many people and is still scaring them to date. This so-called money is a silent monster that you can have it without any pressure. So you just need to, first of all, work so well in the knowledge of your area of concentration. If you're a farmer, you know which type of crops you want to farm, the ecological condition of your environment, the consumer targets and expectations. Then you're ready to do farming. Then you do a layout, and in PMAK will train you many things, including writing a proposal, including doing a budget and all those stuff, so that if you want to have people fund your project, how do you write to them so that they can give you money? Then money will just come. Money is a consequence of the right knowledge. When you have the right knowledge, money will come. Time is a factor that is constant in the process. So even in acquiring knowledge, you're using time. Even putting the money in use, it's working in real time. That's why I could not omit time from those points. So time is a real situation of your life. Time is now. I mean, you're on time. You are on real time. That's why you're in this meeting. Like you are existing. Time is existence. You are here because time has allowed you. Like you are in the present time. The next meeting you can be dead. So time is a factor in every component of life. Networks and connections, they help you in adding knowledge and in adding money to your success path. So you'll have commodities, but because of your networks, maybe the mahindi you have harvested, school X in Nyanza can take all your maize. That's through connections and networks. Or school Y in Nakuru can take your maize. You may have detergents. Hospital Y may book all your detergents or particular volume. That is through connection and networks. Or someone will add you knowledge about funders. Oh, there are guys out here who fund such projects. Why can't you write to them? So that's the consequence of networks and connections. That's why you need to have the right networks and the right connections when you're building your success path. People can add material substance in your success path. People will come and challenge you, Humphrey, this is what you're doing. You can do better. Like, what if you apply this and this and this? You see, they have not given you money, but they have given you knowledge to scale out. So when you scale out, you'll be able now to to walk your success path, okay? And remember, it's a continuous process. Even the president is still walking this path. Even the richest man like Dangote and the rest, they're still working these parts because you find them still opening new companies. Why? And they have money because this is a continuous process. That's why we call it a success path. You discover it and you walk it to the end. You get my point? Are we together? Hello?
Yeah, we're together, sir.
Are you getting my point?
Yes, we are together.
Asante.
We're together.
Very important. Now, after that, you've discovered your success. And I want to challenge you people, and I repeat, I've said it before. Do not rely on one success path. Oh my goodness, you'll spend a lot of time earning very little. I don't say you don't be employed, but you need to deploy yourself. I think you've heard that word before. Deployment. You can employ you yourself, listening to me. You can employ, and by that should be your new target. Don't finish life before employing somebody, even if it's a house help, and increase your employment rates. Because you are born as a blessing, as a seed to the others. Actually, the great things that God has placed in you, they are not yours. They are meant for others. And your great things are with others. So if you don't release what you have for others, you're actually blocking what others have for you. So the change should continue. So you should be releasing what you have for other people. Employ people, even if it's 5,000. Even if in your area you are paying people 200 per day, per day service, go and give them 800. Make people feel your presence. You're not bragging. You are a blessing to their lives. You are defining their value. You're showing them that it is something good, worth. Like my sister was working on someone's place in Westlands as a house help, okay? I love her. That's why I use her example. And this guy was paying rent 150,000, then paying the maid 10,000. And you know that the maid has workers. Oh, I understand. Okay. That's a good price for a maid who is not in a family. But a maid who has children, wewe unaenda kwa shopping, kwa supermarket, unanunulia watoto wako tu, shopping ya watoto wako ina cost 45,000 na huyu unampeanga 10,000. What do you think? Huwa ana manage aje shopping ya watoto wake? So you become a critical, creative thinker, so that you just bless them. By this life you live once. Where will be your names be written in people's lives? Is it in their brains, in their hearts, or in your grave? No, there are guys whom their name will be written on their grave. So and so, professor. There are people that their names will remain in the hearts of many. When you miss even one day in this world, people will miss like the entire blessings. Like they'll be, we rather be with this guy. Like they can even exchange their lives for yours, because they understand that your presence in this world is really touching many. And I challenge you people again, you don't need to be a billionaire to do good things. And that's why we're training you on success paths. You don't need to be a billionaire. You just need to have the right mindset and a magnanimous heart. A very magnanimous heart. And the right mentality. So if you have 500, I bless people just like that. Like, oh, get this 200. I was just buying you. Or when I invite you to visit me, I give you transport, even if it's 200. You never know what you've done to that person's life. So that's the mentality that I would like you people to grow with. Because if you don't release what God has placed in you for others, you're blocking what others have for you. So you need to really take that very, very seriously. So I want us to scale out the way we think and the way we handle situations. We are not poor. Poverty is a mindset. You've had it before. And that's why I tell you, we are slaves of knowledge. We know so much. Sometimes in my presentations, I understand that I'm talking to people who are knowledgeable. People have gone to seminars and conferences before. So you know these things, but the problem is there in application, application of this knowledge. That's where there's an issue. And I will love that you learn and apply.
If not, you remain the same. 2030, you'll be the same guy you're complaining in 2020. Now you're in 2030. Yeah, you're now still complaining. So I don't like that type of life whereby you always blame. You look for anything to blame. You blame your wife, you blame your husband, you blame your children, your neighbors for your own faults. And that's why we are building an excellent generation, young and different. And that is PMAK. That's the whole assignment of PMAK. We don't have an assignment. We want just to see young generation who are successful and they can actually go to heaven. And that's the big deal. So after this is said, allow me now to say something here. You've discovered your success. You are building it, okay? You're building it. So my topic, it is not the end step of success, no. And that's now my topic and my points. When I'm done with these points, I'm done with my presentation. Maintaining, utilizing, and multiplying your success is a process. So understand that, as the first presenter said, is something that we don't target the end. Like, it doesn't have the end. Like, tomorrow morning you wake up and say, no more work. I'm now successful the way I wanted. You see what people think? No, it's a process. Even these three subjects that I've just displayed in my slides, if you can see my slides, these three subjects are actually continuous again. Maintaining your success path. You see, maintaining it. Now you've chosen to do business. Angalia vile watu wanakuanga na mess, anafanya business miaka 2, anaachana nayo, anaenda kuanza ingine. Unaona? And aliweka pesa ndani. You see the problem? That's a loss if you're not keen. Patience, hakuna. This person is impatient. You start another one. It gives you another 3 years experience. You stop it. Put the years together. Those are 5 years of waste. You start another one. It gives you 4 years experience. You have wasted 9 years. But you have not gained anything from that path of success, so-called business. So I want you to maintain your success path. And that's why I said it is success paths. Try to discover 3 or 4. Career being one of them, okay? Then discover the rest 3 or 4 or 5, so that you have at least 5 success paths. Then these 5 success paths, or 3, even 2, when one fails, the other one will accommodate you. When you are sacked from job, your business will take care of you. When your business dries, your employment will take care of you. See what I'm saying? So the danger of lying or relying on one success path is that when things turns around, which is obvious, things can turn around, and actually the devil is alive. He can also turn things around. Because you have a generational curse. Somebody spoke to your life and said, they will never be successful. So each type of job you get, they suck you out. And you'll be like, what's wrong with me? You go and look for pastors to pray for you. The problem is the lineage curse. So you find that the devil will use the power of the lineage curse to just dominate your life. And it'll be like, you cannot have a continuous business flow, a continuous employment in a particular company. So that said, it means that you also need to have a very strong spiritual understanding and spiritual strength. Wacheneni hii mambo kidogo, mtu akianza kuongelea mambo ya Mungu unaanza kuuliza anashiriki kanisa gani, ana relate na denomination gani. That type of question will make you actually to become a captain in hell, because you waste time just trying to weigh and gauge. Where will I dwell? Where will I stabilize myself? That's a wrong mindset. So maintaining, utilizing, and multiplying your success after that you've discovered the success paths will need the following. You need to have the success mindset. I didn't want to use the right mindset because we are used to that statement, the right mindset. What is the right mindset by definition? Maybe someone can type in the side chat. This so-called the right mindset, what do you mean by it? The success mentality is a component in the right mindset. It's one of the, the figurative component of your right mindset, the success mindset. You should speak success. Let me show you, my friends. The moment you keep on saying that I don't have money, I'm broke, I can't afford. There is something. You see, you have the God's ability and nature. I want to trust that you're believers. There is something about confession. And I was challenging one of my leaders who was telling me that I'm paying rent for 8,000, and that's why I cannot register with PMAK, because my dad adds for these are real stories. So if the guy is here, you'll know I'm talking about him. But allow me to use you as an example. It's for a good reason. Like I use 4K, my dad adds 4K. So I was just challenging him. I didn't mean that his statements were wrong. I was challenging him on how to configure the brain, because registration for PMAK is 300. It's a one-time thing, you see. So the success mindset will not have complaints concerning money and money matters. Even if you don't have money, you can't complain. You can't even dare utter some negative words. You'll be like, at the moment, I can't manage that, but give me a few time, few hours or few days, and I'll be able to respond to that. Success mindset. You'll be like here talking about coins. People are talking about billions. And I was challenged the other time, like there is a young man, 20 years, was buying an apartment for 20 million. And there's another 20-year young man somewhere with a free WhatsApp for the whole week, 15 bob, complaining that I'm a student, you see, chatting with memes day in, day out. Saying now, I'm a student, help has not come, I'm still waiting for help. Help ends with your graduation. Pocket money ends with your graduation. Bursary ends with your graduation. There's nobody under the sun who will give you bursary to handle your life. They have another name for it. It's called a loan. So, and I don't advise people to really take loans. So the success mindset, even if you don't have anything at this moment, your brain should be ringing the things you need to have. If it's a car, if it's a house, unajua tukisema hivi mtu anasema you are fantasizing and fictioning a role. You need to see yourself the way God sees you. And that means if you have to share inheritance with Christ Jesus, understand that you are sharing the whole world. Get my point? So human beings categorize themselves, and that's why I usually tell people, especially young people, exposure is very important. Exposure is very important. And I was having a forum with the ladies, and I was challenging them. You don't even know what a pressure cooker, how it does work. So you go and now you want to open the pressure cooker and you put your face there, and that lid comes and hit your nose because you don't have the right mindset. The right mindset. Before you buy it, you should know how it is used. And even before you reach that level, you should be having a lot of knowledge about the things you want to really have. So that's the success mindset. It will trickle you to work hard today, because by 2030, I need to have my apartment. So you put every mechanism to place 2020, so that by 2030, you achieve your dream. And that's the mindset we are talking about here, the success mentality. Successful-minded people, there is a way they speak. There is a way they dress. There is a way they interact with challenges. You just listen to them and this guy is different. You not be like, you know what, I can't afford that, I can't. Simple. Like, let me give you a real example in our PMAK, in leaders page. I've told them, if you can't afford, just inbox us, because we are able to make you afford. I mean, we can pay for you. That's another word for it. But they don't inbox. You see, wrong mindset. Wrong mindset. So you need to have the success mentality. And the success mentality should have the map of your life. And you need to take a book and a pen and you write down. How many things do you want to write down? Write down the things you want to achieve. Long-term goals and short-term goals. Write them down. Meditate over them. If you have wall stickers, put them on your wall. See them every day. What you see, it culturalizes your brain. You remember the story in the Bible, the good book of the world, where this guy took, he wanted to the ships to give birth to the stripped lamps. So he took sticks and akachora hizo strips kwa hizo vijiti, akaweka pale zinakunwa maji. So what happened? I mean, zikaanza kuzaa watoto wenye wako na hizo mistari. You see, what you see every day, it tend to convert you to itself. Like it changes you. What you think about every day and what you speak about every day, you tend to become it. And that's a spiritual principle. And that's why I'm dwelling so richly in this point one, because that's where failure and success begins, the mindset. Oh, nadhani hawa jamaa wanatengeneza innovation. You think that the plane is flying today, it was made in one day. It was not made in one day. It took decades for the first plane to go to the sky. You get my point? But all this time, these guys maintain their success mind. Like, I want this thing to fly. Anajaribu ina fail, lakini ha change mind. So problem iko Africa, sana sana Kenya, ni ku give up. When you don't have the rightful mindset, you'll give up on anything. Trust me, even your girlfriend, because amekukasirisha tu, you'll give up. Your wife or your husband amekukosea tu kidogo, you'll give up and you'll divorce. Because hii success mindset, au kukuwa na vision, kwamba which type of life mimi ningewahi taka kubuild. Because that type of life, you can build with whichever problem in your marriage or whichever problem in your business. Kama umetarget ku project your business to billions, itafika. It will reach there, trust me. Lakini hizi challenges zikikam, you know how to maneuver over them. You know how to maneuver. Sometimes you need to get out of yourself. Nilispenda hile point ya Wendy. You have your executive meeting of yourself. That's why myself, I exist in 3 phases. The real me, myself, and my alternative. So we run meetings every day when I'm doing self-assessment. Najiuliza, what have I achieved today in the evening? Then I write. And I like the guest speaker tulimleta jana kwa mains forum. I'll bring him in the mains forum for PMAK. He brought a very key component that it is not so loud to our lives. He himself, he does what we call financial tracking. Like he has a book that shows the source of income and how much. Then the same book, expenditures and how much. So anaangalia the inflow finances and the outflow. And that's why we usually miss it. You are a man, you call your girlfriend, then before you finish the calling, unagundua call imeisha tu kama bado angali anaongea. With your mindset, you go to M-Pesa again and you load another amount. Then after the call, you discover that you only left with 40 bob to hit your store bonus. You'll be like, I can't spend 120 and maintain to win 160. So you buy 40 to reach your store bonus target. So you've spent 160, that's a careless expenditure. How much did you want to spend to credit today? 40 bob. Period. When it's over, they need to call you back. Unless it's a very urgent call, very urgent, that needs your attention. So you monitor your expenditure. That's the right mindset, the success mindset. You monitor your expenditure. You should be able to track and trace. I heard you guys discuss on the main page about finance equation. That's a very common key area of discussion. With the successful mindset, you will save before spending because spending will never end. Be it their basic needs or not. The moment you buy sugar and you discover that there is no meat or there is no flour. The moment you buy this, you discover there's something else. So if you don't save before you spend, you are likely to spend everything and still need more money to spend again. So, but if you are disciplining yourself, and you save 100, then you spend 400. You save 1,000, then you spend 4,000. You save 10,000, then you spend 40,000. That is the mindset we're talking about. Are you together to that point?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I don't want to open the messages now. If there's any question there, just relax. I'll answer it. But I believe you are commenting or challenging my points. I'll come and prove to you why I say what I'm saying. And point number 2, they are not very busy points, because point number 1 actually handles the rest of my points. Set new goals and visions. What about this point? Set new goals and visions. You see, when I was in school, every November, I used to write my targets for the new year. And I could write every subject, and I write every subject A to the end in my diary book. And when you get at the end of the year, I've got either 10 over 10 S or 9 over 10 S. And that's how I got a distinction in my studies. Why did I do that? Because when you set goals, your mind will always remind you that there's something that you need to achieve. So when you don't set goals, then your mind doesn't have a reference. Your mind can't, your mind listens to you. So as much as you think your mind controls your life, you need to understand that you control your mind. That's a big topic in soul, spirit, and body in spiritual teachings. You control your mind. It only goes by how you wish. So your mind actually commands your feelings and all that, but your spirit is able to code your brain the way you want. So you just need to understand all those nitty-gritties in these matters of life and growth. So there's so many relationships in life that build a success. We'll be coming to them other times. Due to the interest of the image of PMAK, maybe we may not be preaching, but there's so much you people need to understand about your spiritual understanding and your spiritual relationships with God. Yeah. So setting new goals. For example, you had said that I want to build a boutique in Nairobi. Now, the boutique is working and the inflow of money is good. You need to set a new goal. You need to sit down and set a new goal and say what? Or a new vision. And say, let me now build boutiques in Kisumu and Eldoret. You see, that's a new goal. So don't be so rigid in one goal. Always be there, rogging around with that one point. And this is a very dangerous thing about careers. Careers really corrupt your goals, by the way. Careers are just another thing. Your career might really concentrate you in one goal for a very long time because you don't have a big vision or a big mindset. Even though inside your career, let me use as a teacher also, you may have goals, short-term goals. You're a teacher in Form 4. This year you had 7S. You set a new goal. Next year, I want 15S. Then you set a new goal. Next year, I want 40S. You see, so there are those new goals you set at a particular time interval and a new vision. Are we together? Are we good to that point?
Yes, can hear you.
Thank you. So,
Moja.
okay. Let me continue. So these goals and visions, you need to set them again. And that's why you see even the international world leading businessmen, what they do after a particular time. I don't understand why Esther wants us to see those people, because this video is going to go to the website of PMAK and the social, it's going to be public. So Harriet lies with Esther. So new goals and new visions. The new goals and the new visions are there to help us upgrade our success. So for you to move from 10,000 success business to 50,000 success business, then you need to be this person who is able to set new goals and manage them. So in the success path, maintaining your success path, then that means you should not go below your current state. So if your current state is 40,000, or your current state is 500. That should be your minimum. So maintaining means you should not go beyond that, but you can go above that. So either maintain or improve. Now, new goals and vision. Vision is a big topic. That's why I'm avoiding it. We're going to discuss it in the next time, setting visions. Because we talk about goals many times, and dreams. But goals and vision, they interrelate. But dreams and visions, how do they vary? Why are they not synonyms? Antonyms? Because they are not the same thing. So we'll talk about it next time, because one has defined precise formula and the other one, it's a freelancer world. My dream is to buy a car, but you don't know where to start. Like you hope, you remain in a hope world for a very long time. But a vision, you put mechanisms in place until you buy that car. When you check point 3, build new networks and connections. I've talked about it, but how do you do it now? And I don't want you guys to keep on going to every link you see on a website and clicking it and registering. Have some sense. There are 5 senses that you guys know, but I want to introduce to you 2 senses. That is number 6 and number 7. There is common sense and spiritual sense that you never use. And these 2 senses makes the 5 senses work the right way. When you have spiritual sense and common sense in practice, then all the other senses will bring the right information and the right lifestyle in your life. So building new networks means when you come to forums like PMAK and you understand Wendy is a lawyer and an ambassador, you build a connection. At your free time, you go to the inbox, you interact. You understand Humphrey is a life coach and a trainer. You come to my inbox and you interact. We share a few challenges if they're there, and we help you. Then next time I'll go to an international training at KICC and I'll invite you. And you come, and now, because you're my friend and you are like my mentee, I will invite you because I want you to learn. Then while at KICC, you meet guys from Gabon, Ghana, Liberia. You see, you exchange contacts because you'll have seen their profile and the work they are doing. That's building network. Nobody will build network for you. And you can't build network in the village through WhatsApp. And you cannot build this network through searching internet. And you go and search Bill Gates, and then you send friend requests. It will say 1,000 years before accepted. So you build these networks in a different way. Or sometimes you become so curious. If you understand, like maybe Musheru is dealing with ICT and is approving a lot of youth projects, by the way. So how do you build such networks? You write a good proposal and you attach in the email. So when the PA or himself is going through the proposal, he'll find something very interesting he has never seen. Then he'll call back or he'll get back to you using his systems. And you'll be called for an appointment and you go and defend your value or your quality. That is how we build networks. But wewe uko tu nyumbani, kazi ni kulala, kuamka, kukula breakfast, viazi, githeri, you know what? Mahindi sasa imekomaa for some people. COVID has placed you inside the maze now. You can eat any type of and any volume. So the point is networking is very important. And let me show you how you attract big networks. Appearance, the way you dress. Big people associate with big people, trust you me. The way you appear defines who you are. It might not be a reality in your life, but when you go to KICC, for example, with a tie in a good conference and a good dress or a good dressing for ladies, then when you meet any senior person, you'll be, excuse me, sir, how are you? That person will give you an audience because he doesn't know you, but your dressing defines who you are. You look like you've just parked your very serious limousine or Mercedes Benz in the parking lot. And you'll be like, how are you, sir? How can I help you? You'll be like, my name is so-and-so. And that's why I produce business cards for PMAK people, and I'm still going to produce for all of you. You give them your business cards. I'm like, I'm the national director of PMAK, and I'm the permanent secretary in PMAK, and our work basically is to deal with the young people across the country. You see, you define yourself. And that's why I told you, and I've been challenging some of you in your inbox, to build your profile. Some of you don't even have a CV. You know hii maisha, by the way. Peer influence. Kazi to 90% of the life ni relationship and love. You see where the problem is. The loves that don't lead to anywhere. So I want you guys to start building your profile. All of you, even this senior, it's never too late for all of you, even our TOTs, to go America and present your work to a forum of 7,000 people. There's still space for all this work. As long as you're alive and you believe in your work, there is always space to defend your value and your work out here. So build connections and networks. And this will only be possible if we work together. This will only be possible if we listen to each other. This will only be possible if we respect each other. And that's why I've discovered some members in PMAK don't respect instructions even. They don't. Sasa hiyo lifestyle wanataka. But sisi unajua, we can't fail because of some few individuals. We have to win. Point 4 is not something I'm going to discuss in detail, but because of time factor, maintaining high standards of discipline and self-management. I would like this topic to go to our normal weekly discussion forums so that we talk about it in detail. Maintaining, now I'm trying to assume you have that standard of discipline. That's why you're in this training. Maintaining this standard of discipline will cost you one main thing. You must chop off irrelevant friends from your life. And I repeat, you must chop off friends who don't add value to your life. Chopping off, not going to excuse them, please, I want to leave you. Chopping off. Be like, you can't talk now. Don't show them that you don't respect them. No, chop them off. Minimize the time you give them. Self-management. You also need to edit the way you spend your day. And Wendy had mentioned about time management. We'll create another session for that, Wendy. You'll have enough time to describe and elaborate on that. Self-management, how do you arrange your day? Hata kama Wendy kazi, ensure that you wake up early and handle your day. With good networks and connections, start reading from internet and elsewhere to add knowledge. So this is a topic, we'll review it later. Work within your limits. Working within your limits means don't train. Don't try things you're not ready. Don't try things you can't do. So usianze ku set up business ya 500,000 and you've never tried a business of 10,000. So work within your limits. If your net worth is 40,000 or your income is 40,000, then ensure that anything you think of doing is 40,000 and below for some period of time. Then before you start scaling out and engaging loan and partners, work within your limits. So if you are this person who don't like movies, be that. If you're this person who watches, sometimes you watch, no problem, but work within your limits. Don't scale, don't strain your muscles. That is straightforward point. Don't strain your muscles. Work within your limits. Expand your knowledge on your goals and vision, okay? That means you have to read a lot and you have to listen to such trainings and you have to really visit real projects on the ground. You can visit people who are doing your business already. You can visit those guys who are doing farming in poultry if you want to start one, and they tell you a few things. You can visit those guys who are doing business of selling clothes if you need to start one. They tell you a few things. So you are expanding your knowledge. Oh, when I start this business, these are the things I'm expecting. So you start it knowing where you're leading and the things you expect. Then compete your inner self, your current status. Somebody mentioned it, I think it's Wendy. Most part of the Nani's call, the bigger part of Harriet's call, I was in another official call, Harriet's presentation. So you find that I remember many of the things that Wendy said and the things that Harriet said towards the end. So you find there's a statement that came in. Don't compete your neighbor, not even your classmates. Your classmate can have a car and you're still here trying to put together your business strategies. Your friend can get married through a wedding. Don't compete your friends. Don't now say mine will be bigger than that. I promise. I swear. Don't swear on anything above and anything on us. Like, don't see like Humphrey's doing this, then you want to start doing it. You can't manage that because everybody, as it has said earlier in the presentations, you are unique on your own way. And you start somewhere, is it in Peter, First Peter 2:9? Yeah, there's something that God has placed in you, a seed of greatness. There is a nation in you. You are a full nation. You are a peculiar priesthood. You are a generation on yourself. And if you discover that, you not compete with anybody. You will focus on putting materials together for your generation. And you build a very disciplined generation. A generation where if a child is going to the bedrooms ya mama yake na baba yake, the child knocks and says, excuse me, daddy and mommy, may I come in? A generation where a parent going to the bedroom of the child, you knock and say, please, so and so, may I come in? A generation where you kneel down with your children and you pray and your family. You build your generation. Don't compete with what your friends are doing. Unaweza na kutembelea your classmate, ukute kwake kumejengwa, kumefanyiwa nini. Understand that that is his life. Your life is set and your time is about to come. You should always remind yourself that each time you are challenged. But take every challenge positive, okay? Now, in two sentences or so, maintaining, utilizing, and multiplying your success will greatly depend on your goodwill and your good heart. So utilizing your success, utilize it niliweka hapo intentionally because after building it, utilizing is a continuous process. Utilizing your success, don't be so mean. Ita watu kwako tu wakuja kunywa chai, but si wale watu ujinga. Kuna watu wenye wako na ujinga. I mean, kuna watu wenye wako na usienzi. Don't deal with that type of people. But your good friends, just ensure they are good. Invite them for a home party. You know, like me, I'll be having what you call birthday anniversaries, wedding anniversaries, just to bless people and sponsor others if there is need. Then unakula hii success yako na watu. Employ people to work for you, pay them well. Si kumemploy watu kukufanyia kazi ya kuvuna maharagwe, for example. That day you can even slaughter 5 chickens for them just to enjoy. That's the mindset. Then you pay them very well. Then even instead of serving them tea, give them options. Like if you want to take milk, you want to take tea, you want to take coffee. Yeah, good life, right? That's the way. Allow your workers to really benefit in your success. And then your friends, partner with them and help them if there is need. And then your mentees and the people you are raising also support them financially so that they grow. Then multiplying your success is greatly depending on how you utilize your current success and how you maintain your current success. So when you maintain, you put a back wall, you can't fail. When you utilize well, it means you can save, you can ration your profit, you'll not misuse money. Then that will enable you to open more companies, to open more farming lands, space, okay, or opportunities, things like that, or to open more branches of your business across the country. I really don't want to go beyond there. Thank you for listening. I'd like to see if there are questions so that I can respond to them. Then, moderator, I'm very cautious about time. Thank you so much for listening. Yeah, back to the moderator as I see if there are any questions to answer.
Thank you so much, sir, for that comments. So maybe go ahead and ask. Yeah, the platform is yours. You can just unmute and ask any question or any comment. I check on our chat box. Yeah, they just a question. A question to Madam Wendy on the key points in setting goals. Please clarify finance freedom. So Ambassador Wendy Mutegi, you can go ahead and just help
better to understand that point as we wait for other questions. Karibu sana.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Esther. And I also want to thank Humphrey very much because of that insightful talk. And, I really hear him well. And I think for that kind of talk, I think it needs sort of like a workshop, Humphrey. So I think you probably need to invite us into a workshop so that you can be able to lead us deeper into what you have discussed with us. Thank you very much. Yes, I saw the question on setting goals to give more insight on setting goals. And I think Humphrey has also dealt with the question of setting goals quite a bit. I have answered on the chat what I define as financial freedom. A lot of times our main human resource that we use to get income is ourselves, our bodies. And in the absence of us being available to go to work or us being available to do our businesses, then we realize we don't have, you cannot have an income. So when I make reference to financial freedom, I mean that you have ability to have a constant income that comes in. You know, somebody like Bill Gates, what he doesn't have to work, he doesn't need to work for the next 500 years if he were to live that long, or his great-great-great-grandchildren, but money still keeps coming in. So when we are dealing with financial freedom, it's being in that status where money will come for you, or what normally we call money working for you, but not you working for money. So we must set goals that lead us to financial freedom. The question on goals, I want to be very brief on some guidelines when setting goals. When you set a goal, it must be in tune with what you believe in. Because remember, we have a very powerful subconscious mind that directs what comes up in our lives. And our lives are more so what is engraved on our subconscious. So when you have to set a goal, then you have to be in tune with what you believe. For instance, don't set a goal to fly to Mombasa by the end of this week if you believe that flying is very dangerous, for example. Because then your subconscious will be fighting the fact that you will fly, because your subconscious does not believe that flying is safe. So your subconscious tries to make life very comfortable for you. So when you're setting goals, it must be within the limits of your beliefs. Number two, your goals must be in your areas of excellence. What is it that you do very well? In fact, to some extent, what is it that you would do even when you're not being paid for it? That's a key question that I think young people need to begin to answer. What is it that I can offer my services freely without being paid a penny for it? The third principle that I talk about goals is the principles of acres of diamonds. You know, it's a little story of this man who saw someone else who had got diamonds from a place in Africa, bought some land near the same place, you know, dug, got rocks. And at one moment he was so tired, he gave up, sold the place, went, spent his money, drowned himself in the sea. But the person who came who bought his land actually got diamonds immediately. And the principle of it is that diamonds don't look like diamonds in their rough form. They simply look like rocks to an educated eye. So when we are setting goals, we need to know that it's not a simple way of, you know, running away from hard work or, you know, getting things easily. We need to know that we need to put, like Humphrey put it very well, we need to put in a lot of our research, we need to get knowledge, we need to get information about what we want to achieve. The fourth principle is the principle of balance. Remember, we talked about the 7 areas that are very key ingredients when you're looking at a successful life. So you need to balance your goals. You don't set goals, for instance, of finances or your financial life, but on the other hand, your relationships are in shambles. So you need to have a balance when you're setting goals. And finally, you need to have had a determination of your major purpose in life. Remember, I said that you must know exactly what you want from life.
Because you might, when you know exactly what you want in life, then your goals will be in proper alignment to your major determination in life. Finally, there is the issue of which goal, if I accomplish, would do the most to help me achieve all my other goals. And that should be the key leading goal. There's one goal you can accomplish and it helps you. If, for instance, one of your goals is, to purchase a home, or another goal is to purchase a car, those I call them small goals because that's materialistic. But if those are part of your goals, and you know that if you set a goal, to like Afri is talking about career path, to work and earn a salary of maybe 1 million plus in a month or in 2 months, or do a consultancy and make some huge money, you would note that there are goals that you achieve and they naturally help you to achieve other goals. So when you're setting goals, also when you're reflecting, remember I talked about the meeting. I think every day, I like what Humphrey says about the spiritual aspect of our lives. I think every day it is important for each one of us to have a meeting with ourselves. And in that meeting, you'll be able to focus and see what is it that I do. If I do it very well, it's going to open up doors for the rest of the goals that I set. I think briefly, those are some of the guidelines I'll talk about. Goal setting is a huge topic, huge topic. Unfortunately, it is not taught in schools, neither is it taught in colleges. But I think it is one that Humphrey, the CEO, can decide again to have a workshop and we can discuss how to set goals and learn how to set and achieve our goals, because it's key to successful lives. Thank you very much. Thank you, Esther. Back to you.
Karibu sana. Thank you so much, Ambassador Wendy. That is those additional comments. We are grateful for that. And I believe Beja has been well much answered, as well as us. We've also gotten additional comments and additional knowledge on the same concerning success. Yeah. And so we are almost done with our training. And I don't know whether there's any other question or comment before we bring the training to a close.
Maybe what I can add is thank you very much, Humphrey and Wendy, for the training. I wanted to say something about parents and leading their children to career paths and all that. I'd like to say, if your child is discouraged, discouragement can be temporary. It can destroy. It can build you, or it can destroy your life. So the choice is theirs, or the choice is ours. So if we refuse to deal with this discouragement head on, we are opening the door for it to dominate their life or our life completely. So as a parent, if you realize your child is not happy in the career path that you chose, then please support them to continue working on their own career or whatever it is that they want to achieve. Just support them, ask them to do what Humphrey has discussed, research, and if they have already justification that is really what they want to do, then you need to support them. As a student also, please don't say that your life is now done because you already completed your degree in this specific course that you did not want to pursue. Please do the research, have conversations with your parents or your guardians in regards to what you want to do, so that even for them, you open that platform, open discussions for their support, and things will work out. Beside this career path, this success track is infinite. There's no end to it. We continue discovering new goals, new paths, and once we are able to identify it, as Wendy has said, then we have to build it according to the topics or the points we have emphasized here. Thank you, Esther.
Yeah. Karibu sana. Thank you so much for that additional comment. And I believe that we've been enlightened, knowledgeable. I mean, we've acquired a lot of knowledge, and I have been followed through the trainings very keenly. And what I can say is that we young people are very lucky to get this kind of knowledge at our age. We're still in school, we're still at campus, and it is good for our foundation. For our foundation when it comes to matters success, because that is our end goal. We want to be successful in life. So it's good that we've gotten to understand what is this success all about, how do we build that success, and then how do we maintain and utilize and multiply this success. So I want to take this opportunity to thank a lot our trainers, Ambassador Wedi Mutegi, even our CEO, that is Humphrey and I, and you, Harriet Jeru, for just taking your time and preparing for this and letting us understand all these aspects. One thing that is left for us is just putting everything into action. It's one thing to acquire the knowledge, and it's also another thing now to put into practice, into action, so that it can benefit us at the end of the day. So as we bring the training to a close, I would just want to give out our social media handles so that we can visit them, like, and also get to know what is happening there, and just follow us through our social media handles. And that is, we are in YouTube as Peer Mentors Association of Kenya, also in Facebook, the same Peer Mentors Association of Kenya, also in Twitter. We are also in websites. Our website is www.pmac.or.ke. And we also have our email if you want to just email us. We have info at pmac.or.ke. And also we have another mail, that is Peer Mentors Association at gmail.com. Yeah, those are our social media handles. You can get in touch with us anytime. And I believe that we are growing.
Just unmute your mic.
Oh, sorry for that. Yeah. So, oh, does it mean I was on mute? Okay. That's how. So, thank you so much for that, Harid. So, I was saying, let's put into practice what we've been taught. It's a lot of knowledge, very relevant for us all. And if we are to put it into practice, then at the end of the day, we will be successful. So that is the end of our training. And thank you so much for attending. To all our members, thank you so much for our trust. We are so much, and we look forward to having you also around to you talk to us on other topics which are relevant for us to grow as young people. So I would want to just pray as we finish the training. Let us pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, we want to bless you for the training that has just happened. We've learned a lot about what success is all about. I pray in the name of Jesus, pray the Lord give us the grace and the wisdom to apply everything the Lord has been taught in this training, God, for our own benefit, for God Almighty. I pray the Lord will bless our trainers, the three of them, oh God Almighty, continue adding more wisdom to them, oh God. Pray the Lord bless the work of their hands in the name of Jesus. I pray the Lord you open doors for them, oh God Almighty, that they will continue shining and impacting more lives in the name of Jesus Christ, oh God. I pray that Lord bless PMAK as an organization, oh God Almighty, and continue being our God, for there is none like you. Bless you and we honor you in the name of Jesus Christ. Christ, we do pray, we and trust you. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Very
Unmute. Everyone, bye.